India Today TV, I'm Sneha Mordani. A quick check first of the headlines in this edition. Amid suspense over CBSE Class 12 board exams, Prime Minister Modi will chair a crucial meeting to discuss possible options. Supreme Court wants exams cancelled as students wait for clarity. Centre warns of FIR against former Bengal Chief Secretary if no response is submitted within 3 days to the show cause notice that has been issued for skipping the Prime Minister's cyclone meeting. The centre is also given a point-by-point rebuttal of claims made by the Chief Minister of Bengal. The showdown between doctors and yoga guru Ramdev intensifies. Protest across hospitals. Black band stir over Ramdev's rant against allopathy treatment and doctors. Dominica opposition leader tells India Today that Choksi was removed from Antigua with Dominica's help to bypass extradition. Customs documents show vessel departed Antigua on the 23rd and not the 25th of May. More proof of Sushil Kumar's link with gangsters emerged. Scanner on his toll business. Delhi police suspends arms license of the Olympian wrestler turned murder accused. Tennis star Naomi Osaka withdraws from the French Open after sticking to her decision to boycott post-match press conferences. Claims she has been suffering from depression. Well, the suspense over CBSE board exams continue. Prime Minister Modi will be holding a high-level meeting on Class 12 board exams. Sources have told India Today that the Prime Minister will be briefed on all possible options. Sources have said that CBSE had proposed two options to the centre on holding these exams. The first is to hold exams for 19 subjects and only at designated centres. The second option proposed by the centre was to hold 90-minute long exams involving multiple choice questions only. The exams could be held for 11 subjects and 3 electives only. The CBSE also proposed second chances for students who missed exams due to COVID. Palmi Saha is tracking that story very closely. Palmi, get us the inside track of the kind of updates the Prime Minister has received and will be receiving today, and in which direction is this decision really going about holding the exams? Obviously, there has to be the protocol that needs to be followed, but will some subjects be skipped? What are you picking up?
Well, as we know that the Education Minister, Mr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, had in fact, spoken to state education ministers earlier in the month of May, and he said that the overwhelming view, most states at least expressed a view as to go ahead with the CBSE Class 12 board exams. But then, of course, the centre decided to have them send in their detailed suggestions by May 25th, and then they said that they would be making an announcement on June 1st, which is today. Now, today, what we are learning is that the Prime Minister will be holding a meeting this evening with all stakeholders concerned as to what are the options available before the government in terms of holding the Class 12 board exams and taking on board all of the suggestions which have been sent in by the states and the union territories, which was expected by May 25th. We know that there were certain states in that meeting earlier with the Education Minister who were against the idea of holding exams and in fact said that the exams should be cancelled, like the state of Maharashtra. We know now that the Delhi Chief Minister also has just tweeted and expressed what was in fact expressed by the Education Minister in that meeting as well, that the exams should be cancelled and the students should be scored on the basis of their performance last year. This is because most parents, he says, are apprehensive about holding exams at a time that the kids are not fully vaccinated. But we have to, of course, wait and see what is the final decision. But like you said, there are a couple of options, which is to go ahead and hold a regular examination for 19 subjects at notified centres, or possibly shorter duration exams at respective schools by the school administration.
Palmi, be with us. You mentioned Delhi Chief Minister. We're just going to go straight across to that piece of information. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has tweeted in connection with the suspense of the exam. He says, and I quote, he's reiterated, in fact, his demand to cancel the Class 12 exams. The Prime Minister's got an appeal from the Chief Minister of Delhi. The government to assess students over the past performance is what the appeal from Arvind Kejriwal is. Look at the past performance and assess them, is what Delhi Chief Minister is telling the Prime Minister. In fact, this is an appeal made via Twitter. Joining us now on the broadcast, a student from Odisha. His name is Punya Sloka Parija. He's a class 12 student. Thank you for your time. What do you make of this, this back and forth? The government is yet to decide about these exams that just might be held. What's your opinion? Do you want these exams to be held? And if yes, under what conditions?
No, ma'am. I firmly believe that the exams should be cancelled, given the fact that COVID cases have affected and are likely to affect the students, in particular, our age group. And the fact that we are not vaccinated, I believe that they should be cancelled with immediate effect. Going back and forth, I feel that we wanted a decision by morning, to be honest. We expected that we will get a decision by 1st June. But after hearing what the Honorable Supreme Court is planning to do, we have a hearing on 3rd June. And also that we're hearing that Honorable Prime Minister is going to chair a meeting this evening regarding the board exams. So we are hopeful that it's going to be in
You
our
want
favor.
the exams to be cancelled. Okay, Himanshi Kapoor, you also want the exams to be cancelled, or you have a different opinion?
No, I actually believe that exams should be cancelled, and given that there'll be, am I audible? I'm sorry.
Yes, you are. Go ahead,
Yeah.
please, Himanshi. Yes.
Yeah, so like they're saying that they'll give the result on the basis of like the past 3 years, and I don't think that should be how our result should be given. They should. People haven't performed well in class 9th or even 11th for that matter. Even
Okay.
11th for that matter, and giving the result on the basis of that, it's not fair to the students. Students, they were hoping to actually give their best in class 12th boards.
Okay.
So-
Okay, Kirti Sharma, that point that she's making, that a lot of kids just do about okay in the class, in the previous exams, in the previous classes, 9, 10, even 11. But they really pick up during the board exams and they do fairly well in the board exams. And why should then they lose this opportunity of sitting for the exam? So what's your point of view?
Ma'am, my point of view is that the exam should be conducted. As
Okay.
it will not give the exams, the future point of view will be only that these are the children who haven't given the exam. They are just passed like this only. What will they do? They don't have any education of 12. Everyone will say like that only. So in my point of view, the exam should be conducted. This will be best for the students, for their future perspectives. But the condition which is right now, the exam could not be taken, and the government is taking serious steps for this. But still, we want that exam should be conducted so that we'll be able to know that where we stand.
Okay, there is Jatin Kalra, in fact, also is with us. Jatin Kalra, your point of view on exams perhaps being held with some conditions, because the center seems to be thinking in that direction.
Yeah, so I really think that the exam should be cancelled actually, because there's so much emotional trauma that almost every student is going through right now because of seeing their loved ones lose their lives in front of them. And plus the stress of coping up with all the syllabus and the fact that we have this like importance of 12th board exams exerted on us like throughout our lives. कि नहीं बेटा तुम्हें 12th में तो बहुत अच्छा करना है. So that stress plus the emotional trauma is like it makes it really impossible for a student to focus on their studies.
Okay, that's an important point that you make. Himanshi Kapoor, the government's argument seems to be that children who are in fact looking at traveling overseas and studying in overseas varsities outside of India would suffer if the exams are not held. And losing out a year is not an option that they they should not be looking at this option at all of losing out a year. And then the way forward should be to hold the exams with some restrictions, a few subjects, and at least have the exams. What's your point of view about this?
Well, as for going overseas, since the tentative date for boards is 15 July till 26th August, right? So if the exams are held, the results will get delayed, and the students who are wishing to go for abroad, studying abroad, like the universities are expecting a 12th result till maximum by the end of July. So that will affect their studies, for the students who are going abroad.
Okay. So that's, you are saying that even if the exams are held post the 15th of July, they're anyway going to suffer. Is that the point that you're trying to make, Himanshi?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Punya Sloka, coming back to you, some of the students have been saying that these are class 12 exams, and look at the state of mind that many kids are in. There are people who've lost family members. There is an illness in the family, and this really isn't the ideal situation, because you need to put a lot of your, apply a lot of your mind to these exams. You need to be in the right state of mind. Would you agree?
Absolutely, ma'am. And that's what exactly I've been trying to say. Ma'am, I understand the fact that class 12 board exams are once in a lifetime examination, but we also need to understand the fact that COVID is a once in a lifetime pandemic.
Okay.
And in order to have a career, a child needs to be alive in order to have a career. So I think that prioritizing health over anything makes sense, and I believe that prioritizing health should be our concern.
Okay, prioritize health. Kirti Sharma, the government says we will look at protocol, all COVID appropriate behavior will be followed. Do you trust that?
Ma'am, all the protocols are there, but still we cannot stop it. It's raising like an not good for students. And we are able to listen that there is a third wave which is coming around August or July, and that is harmful for almost maximum of the students, children and women. So how will they cope up with this?
Okay, so you don't agree. Jatin Kalra, coming to you, the government is saying that we are going to skip a couple of subjects. Probably that's one of the suggestions that was made in the meeting that was held with the Union Education Minister. One of the states made it that look at skipping a couple of subjects, and probably we'll look at these subjects later. Is that something that you agree with?
I agree with that if it's completely necessary and the government decided that the exams will happen. I do agree with that. But I also think that if the subjects that are chosen by the state itself, that means there will be students who might not have aptitude for that subject. So I think that you really are playing with the students' future over here.
Okay. Also, just going to go back to Punya Sloka. Some of the suggestions that have been made, particularly by the Delhi government, Manish Sisodia had said it in the last meeting, that the children must be vaccinated. All of you are below the age of 18 right now, and that actually could be a long drawn process when it comes to vaccinating some of you. That isn't a very practical solution, Punya Sloka, is it?
No, ma'am. I believe that even if we are thinking to vaccinate the students, that's a long procedure. It is going to take minimum 1 or 2 months, if not 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
Even if we work efficiently, it is going to take a long time. And even if we get the first doses of vaccination, that does not make us immune to COVID. And that's what we have been hearing from everyone.
Okay.
So I don't think, and vaccination, I believe that Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia ji is speaking about vaccination, and he can vaccinate Delhi in 1 or 2 days, but I don't think that it's going to happen in all other states. I don't think a pan-Indian vaccination for all the students, I don't think it's possible.
Okay.
That's not a practical solution in my opinion.
Not a practical solution. Jatin Kalra, practical solution, you wait for the vaccine, get the shot and then go for the exams. Nobody knows how long that's going to take really.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with what he said. How long do you expect us to wait to give our 12 board exams? We have colleges to apply to. We have to think of our future. how do you just expect us to like wait for when the government will announce a date, then the syllabus, and like to like really cramp all the syllabus in, then study for it while dealing with everything that's going around for us? It's like practically impossible for a student.
Okay. Himanshi, what's your opinion? Because this is a suggestion that has been made that you're putting the teachers and the students at risk. So get them vaccinated and then hold exams. Is that practical?
No, I actually agree with Jatin and Punya Sloka. Like, getting vaccinated is a really long procedure. And even after getting the first dose, we now have to wait for, in Covishield, we now have to wait for 2 months to get the second dose. Like, after getting the first dose, we can still get infected from like COVID. And it's really harmful. And yeah, basically.
Okay. You know, Kirti, how long are you willing to wait, if at all the government decides on not holding the exams at all? The government says we're not holding the exams. Let's wait and watch, in spite of the fact that the pandemic seems to be, on the decline in some parts of the country. And this is a decision that the government takes. So are you willing to wait out this entire year, for example?
No, ma'am. How can we wait an entire year? Already we have wasted a lot of time. It's been May, and this is the month where we almost get the results of the 12th classes or 10th boards, all that. But now we don't even know that we are going to give exams or not. So how long we can wait for
You know, I'm just curious to know from all of you, because there is this uncertainty, and I can just well imagine, the kind of thoughts that you all would be having right now. How many of you actually being able to study, thinking that we may have an exam or we may not have an exam? Jatin, coming to you, are you able to study? Are you putting in some hours?
To be honest, I'm not, because like I'm like just trying to make sure that the exams get cancelled. I'm taking that risk for now. Actually, I really hope that the exams don't happen, because I already got admitted to a university. So like if they do plan to have the examination, that means that my university which starts in August, will also get postponed. So like that will be a huge wait for me.
All right.
So like I'm just waiting for the exams to get cancelled so I don't have to cover the syllabus.
Okay. Not being able to put your mind, not studying just yet. Thank you all for joining us with your perspective and your opinion on the important story.